LeBron James and Luka Doncic, right? We obviously saw the Luka debut versus, who is that? The Utah Jazz, right? Am I bugging? It was the Utah Jazz, right? I'm not bugging, right? Yes, versus the Utah Jazz. I said it. I said it during. I said it during the game. If y'all were able to catch it with me, but talk about the perfect tune-up game. I mean, the Jazz. They're not a good basketball team. They're very far from it. They're not a good basketball team. They were at home. I think the Lakers are on a winning streak, if I'm not mistaken, right? And so a lot of positive things, right? If you look at that situation and what Luka was going into, it was as good as they're on a 6-game winning streak now after that game, right? So it was as good as it was going to get. And we got a little taste of what the Los Angeles Lakers could look like. I'm still not totally convinced that this works. These two players, LeBron James and Luka Doncic, are very similar. They're very similar. I'm curious to see, I'm curious to hear what they think about this, right? Because especially as great players, I think it's very rare that another player sees the game the way that you do and makes the same or very similar reads the way that you do. And when you look at both LeBron James and Luka Doncic, I do think that they see the game in a very similar way. I mean, the game started with 2 alley-oops. They both got an alley-oop in back-to-back possessions to start the game out to Jackson Hayes. And, obviously LeBron's athleticism is not the same, obviously. And, the way that Luka scores, obviously it's not exactly the same. But I do think as point guards and the way that they watch basketball, I do think they see it very similar. And I wonder if that will be a clash. Or are they going to hash this out? Right? Because the reality about LeBron is this, right? And he had 24 that night, 10 of 17 from the field, 3 of 7 from 3. LeBron is not just a very capable player in the league. He's still a top player in the league. And when it comes to winning and knowing how to win, you're not going to find many people that know it better than he does. But he's also 40. So relying on a 40-year-old, even if they're a top 10 player, top 5 player, whatever, however you rank him in this league, relying on someone that's 40 is still going to be hard. And I would imagine someone like LeBron, who by all accounts is a control freak, right? If you've seen anything about him and the way he manages the game of basketball and plays, he's a control freak. And if you've ever been around anyone who is like that, it's very difficult for them to relinquish control. It's extremely difficult. Because in their eyes, no one is going to do it better than they have, especially if they're proven. You'll have to show it to them that you could do it the same, if not better than they can. And even though Luka is the phenom, the 25-year-old all-NBA player, supposed to be the guy for the next 10 years, supposed to be all of these things are great. To LeBron, you're supposed to be those things. I already am. And I don't think you can underplay that dynamic because it matters. Now, does LeBron have this understanding that he's 40 and that in order for him to kind of phase out and win, he's going to have to, in real time and very quickly, transfer all of his knowledge to Luka? Is that the realization that he gets to? Or does he say, no, 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 we're still 1A and 1B? And will they suffer as a result of that? I don't know. Time will tell. I will say, like I said the other day, if you got to play these guys in the playoffs, good luck. Like, good luck. Like, it'll be hard. It'll be really difficult. Excuse me. It'll be really difficult to take them out. I saw something with Shannon Sharp guaranteed that if they play against the Oklahoma City Thunder, that they would take the Oklahoma City Thunder out. Now, I don't think I agree with that. Or I'll say in more definitive terms. I don't agree with that. But I do think it will be a much more difficult series than some people might anticipate. Now, if they played the Houston Rockets, I think the Rockets get destroyed. If you played the Clippers, I think there's a good chance they could probably beat the Clippers. It's when when they gotta play the Denvers, OKC, Memphis even, I think, because the way Ja plays and the way he goes at LA. And honestly, even with their struggles, right? I do think Anthony Edwards is still a really good player in this league, and he will be a tough out. He'd still be a tough out. So the Lakers have definitely improved, but they still got a ways to go.